Hi, everyone, and welcome to the 100th episode of the Speaking Nerd podcast. And Christ, it's how long has it been since the last episode?
4 years.
It's been 3,000 years. That is very right.
It's been an entire decade since we've seen each other. How have you guys been? Married, kids?
You know what's funny is that I think
High platinum now.
I think Alter was joking about like on a previous episode. It's like we'll never get to episode 100, and for weeks it literally felt like that. We're just like it's never gonna happen. We're gonna fucking cancel the podcast. Fuck the 100th episode. So, but we're here now.
Stop at 99.
Yeah, just before the biggest milestone yet. Just like nope, not doing it.
No, we're stopping here. We're at the 100th episode and we're done. We're not even going to do it.
We're just telling them it's
What
like,
if I
hey,
did that
no,
right now?
no, we're not, we're not doing more.
If I announced my retirement right now, how would you guys react?
I'd have
Not
no
surprised.
problem with
I mean, yeah, they probably wouldn't bat an eyelash at it. So
I was hoping that they would like rejoice. I was expecting that comment.
I'd be like this. I was praying for this moment.
I mean, it's basically what they were gonna do anyway. So
They
anyway,
prayed on my downfall so much that I can't get into heaven.
so for this episode, I was trying to think of what we should do because we've done the Q&A, we've done DC fandom, which was our first episode, coincidentally, and then we also did the live stream. And I'm like, okay, what are we gonna do for episode 100?
I mean, we even did episode 69. So
Yeah,
we covered so much ground.
the
That's
best
the best
episode.
The most views we got are the ones that I've hosted.
It's probably the
My
most.
ideas.
It's probably the most hilarious one we've done so far. I think. It was
Our best episode.
it was a really good one. So I figured,
This is the best one.
yeah. So anyway, I came up with an idea that we'd just kind of reflect on the last 100 episodes, talk about the early years, the early era, talk about some of our favorite moments, our least favorite moments, canceled episodes that, that kind of thing. Just give
My
you
least favorite moment was
just give everybody a deep dive into the Speaking Nerd podcast, and yeah,
this is a essay. A deep dive into the Speaking Nerd podcast.
How about we talk? How about you explain how you got the idea?
How about you do a deep dive into some bitches? All right.
So I guess there's no other place to start than the very beginning. So when the Speaking Nerd podcast, I'd already done it years ago as a live stream. I did like 4 episodes, I think. And it was just me. Like I had maybe a couple of people join me for that, but that wasn't going to work. But what sparked the idea for it to come back was the pop culture pack. Because I did a couple episodes with you guys. I think 3 of them that never actually came out, as far as I remember.
I think so.
Release
So,
them. Hashtag
basically,
release the pop culture pack cut.
So basically, the Speaking Nerd podcast all happened because of me. You know, it's all me. No one else.
Whoa there, buddy. Let's calm down there.
Just kidding. It's Marvel's podcast.
No, you're not. You're not kidding.
Yeah, pop culture pack. It inadvertently became mine, but anyway. So we did the episodes.
Speaking of pop culture pack nerd,
So we did the episodes, and I'm like, man, I really missed doing podcasts like for myself. So I'm like, okay, maybe I'll bring the Speaking Nerd podcast back. Who knows? And originally it was going to be way different. It would not be a set group of people. It would be more just kind of guests for the week, have them talking about certain episodes. DC fandom, Avengers was one of them. The State of Play, which I think happened at that time. And then one day in October, I messaged Swifty up and I'm like, hey, you want to do a podcast with me? And he's like, yeah, sure. And we did DC fandom, and then we also did the Miles Morales episode. So he has his mic off, so he can't comment.
I think it
Your
was
mic,
just
your mic is off. You are homosexual.
Just insert that for him.
I think it was just right after that when I guest starred.
Yeah. So yeah, right after that, because
The Halloween episode.
no, yours was we were talking about underrated cartoons, I think.
Oh right, yeah, I think it was cartoons.
Yeah, and I don't know what he's doing with that. He's just showcasing random fucking movies he has.
Is that Steven Seagal?
That is Steven Seagal.
Yeah, I'm trying to his face. Look at this man. I'm when I'm not talking, I'm adding visual gags. I've been sucking dick like half this podcast and changing it up.
Yeah, so with the first 2 episodes, me and Swifty did it, and then I think originally it was going to be us two as the main duo for the podcast, so you would be my co-host. But that didn't end up happening because of reasons that, I mean, I don't really want to get into. And I'm sure you don't either. So I set off and I did a couple guest spots.
Wait, what happened? No, I'm being...
Basically, what happened next is that AJ did a guest spot, you, Walter, did a guest spot, and then my friend, a close friend of mine, did a guest spot for, it was like a Halloween video, which Swifty was so butthurt that he couldn't join, but in retrospect.
Still am.
Yeah, that was episode 5. I did the episode 3.
Yeah, and then I think right after episode 5 is when, because I knew that I couldn't do the podcast by myself. Like I knew I couldn't entertain people enough for an hour to do a podcast by myself. So I'm like, okay, I need somebody to be with me, and the only person who was really available at the time was AJ. So he inadvertently became the co-host. I think it was after a couple episodes, it was just, you joined full time, but I didn't announce it yet. And I remember you were pretty angry about that in my comments, so. Yeah. Yeah, those, I remember those early episodes, because we talked about, like, I mean, we did news for Red Hood being in Titans Season 2, and then we also talked about
We were ranting about
Avengers being being like a colossal failure, and like those episodes were, I mean, those were pretty fun to do. And then it was around December or so that Swifty decided to come back to the fold. Not full time at that point, but he just he was there for, I think, the Game Awards, and then we also did our first Best and Worst of that year, and he was along for that.
Okay, I'm looking through the videos right now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, here we go. Mr.
I was named co-host episode 10, the Game Awards predictions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because before that you were just temporary, and
Yeah, it just said every episode special guest Batman or something.
well, I wanted to announce that because remember, the podcast didn't have its own channel yet. It was on my channel at first before we moved over. So I wanted to make an announcement at some point, but then I think we'd already recorded like 2 or 3 videos before that. So
Yeah.
and by the time we actually got around to announcing that, it was like it was right before we did the Game Awards video. And yeah, and then Swifty came back, and I think it was at the very end of the year, like I think right after the Christmas episode, he joined on in full. So, and I think Alter did maybe another guest spot in between then.
Well, he did episode 11.
Yeah, I think
9, 11.
Yep. They had to come back to that.
That's one of the best Family Guy clips.
So yeah, from episode 16 to 25, we were just the three amigos, essentially. It was me, AJ, and Swifty who were pretty much the main trio of the podcast, and then
And it was a perfect, peaceful time without anything terrible.
yeah. And then episode 25 happened, which that was quite an episode because I mean I wasn't expecting it to be as as long as it was, and also Alter I asked to be in the fold, to be a permanent fixture of the podcast. And I didn't tell them about it. I literally didn't tell them because I wanted it to be a surprise for the audience in the video. And it led to one of my favorite moments ever on the Speaking Nerd podcast where the question came up, which was a fake question, by the way, because I did sprinkle a couple of them in there. And it was just like, do you think you'll have a new co-host for the future? And I'm like, well, funny you should say that because Alter's here. And I remember AJ just being like, what?
You can't do this to me. You know what I sacrificed?
I didn't even tell you who it was specifically. I just said we're having another co-host, and your reaction kills me every time I see it. So, and then I think after that it was pretty much history from there. We tried the four-person. We tried the 4-person dynamic. We tried episodes. Yeah, episodes hosted by other members, and for that first like almost first year, it was pretty fun with all of us together, collaborating, and like for as much shit they give Alter, like we were all having fun doing it.
And it was fun.
I wasn't. I was in pain. I fucking hate you guys.
And then it got terrible.
Yeah.
Why is Alter muted?
Here's the first question. This is going to be turned into a Q&A for me. Where did the hate for me come from?
I don't know.
What did I do?
It's just them. It's not even me. It's just them.
Well, honestly, at this point, it isn't even me. I don't. Really
No, you still talk your shit.
On occasion,
I make fun of you
yeah.
when you make fun of me.
On occasion, yeah.
It's true.
Like it's just sprinkled in there, pieces.
I mean, it's not about your whole person. I don't attack you. That's what I'm saying.
Swifty does though. He just I get jumped. I get on the podcast. I'm like, hey guys, let's talk about the Game Awards, and he's just like, why did your dad leave? Who are you? Why are you gay? Kill yourself now.
It's almost like he's waiting for.
Gee, thanks, guys.
It's almost like he's waiting for that to come up. Like he's just waiting for the moment to just sink that in there. And I don't know where the hate came from. Like I wasn't a part of that. I'm still not.
Obliterating you is like his.
He's not even like that on like artistic integrity. He's
no,
not
he's
even
just
like that there.
he's just on this podcast.
That's why I dreaded. I was like, oh, is Josh doing this podcast? Oh, great.
It's practically become like a sitcom bit at this point.
It's going to turn into a sitcom. I'm on the verge. I'm on the edge.
It's a weird thing that just kind of sprang up and has never left since then.
It's like Seinfeld.
Josh, why do you hate me?
We gotta wait. We gotta wait for him to eat his chip first.
Okay, one thing I did want to mention is one of my favorite episodes is the physical media episode.
Yeah, I think
hosted it.
that was his.
Yeah,
that was his idea. Yeah.
Wasn't that just you and me?
It was the three of us. I don't think
Okay.
Josh was there.
Yeah, Josh dipped out because I said a joke that hurt his feelings.
Well, that was a really good episode, and you and I had a lot to say about that.
Here's the thing. I think it was a great concept, and we talked about a lot of good stuff in that episode. But there's just a lot of dead space in that episode. There's a lot of times where we just kind of sit there and we're just like, yeah, like that's literally.
Also the top 10 comic book TV shows episode.
That was your idea, yeah.
Was I even in?
I think you were in there.
No, I was in there. My internet fucked up, and I was only there for like the first 5.
Yeah, and Swifty made that thumbnail.
That was a really hard episode to do for me because I didn't have a full list. Like I couldn't think of 10 shows to put on that list that I didn't hate most of them for.
Like,
I did
like a number 5, Bible Man. He's a superhero.
Meteor Man.
Larry Boy.
Dude, Larry Boy, I got a PS2 game for Larry Boy. That's just crazy.
Oh man, yeah, that one.
Where's that on the review?
It's coming in the near
Dude,
future.
I'll pay you actual. I'm being so serious right now. I will give you money. You might think I'm joking. I'm definitely not.
How much?
Pay you money
How much money?
for Larry Boy. How much would you want? Like I'm thinking around the $50 range. Canadian.
$100. I'll do it.
I'll do 75.
90.
This is like an episode of Pawn Stars.
80 and I'll give you the game. 80 and I'll mail you the game.
Sold. We got a deal made.
Got you. Joke's on you. The game's like $2 on eBay. I got it at like a local retro game store because they had it for like $2, and I was just like, "Fucking Larry Boy." All right, it's like Arkham but Christian.
Yeah.
Also, are we going to talk about the fact that we've been doing this for 3 years?
Yeah, we started.
We talk about how we've grown in 3 years as people and as content creators. Let's get really.
We started October 2020.
I'm trying to be. Listen, Josh is exactly what I'm talking about. All right, very positive with what we say, and I'm trying to talk about how much we've grown, and you out here talking about a rough. No, it's been rough years for you.
Dude.
For you. What have I done?
Dude, this is just gonna turn into another like Beware the Batman like blow up.
Oh, this is literally what we were just talking about.
Yeah.
Josh, will you get a divorce?
I think you guys need to get some couples therapy.
The therapy won't help. We've tried.
Cut 'em out, like I would love to.
Oh man. Another one of my favorite moments around this era was, I think it was Swifty's idea. We were talking about Henry Cavill, Gotham Knights being delayed, and I remember there was some conversation about Martin Scorsese and how
Oh yeah.
you only watched Hugo. The clip that'll always remain in my head is Alter just being like, "I'm a screenwriter. Who is Martin Scorsese?" Never heard of him.
Is that still true, by the way? You've never seen anything else except Hugo?
Yeah, have you watched anything since that? Anything else?
That question, without.
You can answer it right now. Just answer yes or no.
Just
answer yes or no.
Just yeah.
Maybe not.
Okay, I don't want you releasing any movies until you've seen other movies by him other than Hugo. Thank you very much. I rest my case.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't be a screenwriter in Hollywood unless you've seen these number of Martin Scorsese movies.
Okay, Josh, I guess I'm gonna scrap conversation with Kevin. It's the end.
Oh, man.
I used to pray for moments like these.
Now it's just sorrow. One thing I forgot to touch on when we did episode 25 is that I decided that the podcast should have its own channel as opposed to just being a fixture on mine. I forget why I made that decision, but
I think you were trying to.
Josh just overdosed, by the way, on like crack and methamphetamine.
He's doing all the drugs. on the couch.
The dog.
Listen, one thing that I've always said is that before I die, if I ever become famous, I want to try at least every drug. Once.
Just one.
Like, yeah.
All at the same time, or
And you will know that.
I mean, it could be.
you never know, right? That'd be an experiment.
I'm gonna be like Walter White. I'll be like 50 and I'll just get bored and start selling meth.
Buy a Winnebago and shave your head.
You're gonna be a chemistry teacher, Walter.
I mean, he's got the glasses there, so he's just starting.
Halfway there.
Yeah, I remember, when we were experimenting with, Swifty hosting an episode, Alter hosting an episode, that right afterwards, there was just a period where all of us weren't together. Like, somebody missed out, or it was like two people. There's literally 2 episodes in a row where it's just like me and AJ talking about random news of the week type stuff.
That's true. That was a pretty sizable gap.
Yeah, it's like between Swifty's episode up until I want to say episode 43, so it's episode 32 to 43. It's just not all of us together. And then we all rejoiced I rejoiced when we all, got back together, but
I mean,
because you didn't want to get hated on.
Josh and Alter rejoiced when they could.
I'm sick and tired of the hate.
It's-
I just want to go one day without Josh arguing.
I don't get it either. I don't get where it came from. It just sprang up.
I just want to live my life.
Yeah.
I say my stupid comic book opinions, and then he over here disses me for living my life. Like, he hates the fact that I breathe, alright?
Not a fan of your existence.
And I can't even breathe right now, apparently.
No. It's a recurring gag that just needs to die.
We need to have a friendship arc.
I think he will kill me before he kills the argument. Josh, can you please add to the conversation? I would really like to know your opinion.
No, 1 second.
One episode by far has probably been either the forgotten cartoon episode or the porn parody episode.
Yeah.
That's about right.
Forgotten.
And Crypto the Super Dog, I watch that shit daily.
I love that too. It just came out of nowhere. Actually, I wanted to ask you guys what are some of your favorite episodes we've done over the course of the last 3 years?
I did name like 3,
Yeah.
but I'll name some more because I'm holding this together.
Yeah.
Of course, the Dying Young episode's great.
Which I wasn't there for.
Yeah, you know the episodes that he's not there for? Yeah, those ones.
I mean, that one was just, it was unique. I mean, it was.
The room episode was one of my favorites as well.
Yeah, I wasn't there for that one.
No, it was just it was just you and Swifty, which is weird to think about given the given the hate between.
I mean, though there was a lot of love in that episode.
This is back when he
For such a very niche thing, like.
Yeah. The Batman retrospective.
Yeah, the Batman.
That one was really fun to do.
That was a labor of love trying just to get everybody together for because
Yeah.
I think I mean
I still wasn't there. To be fair, I've never seen the Batman in full, so I don't know.
No.
I've watched it like several times.
You want to know the show I've seen full length several times? Beware.
Oh my
The
god!
Bat.
Beware the Batman.
Talk about another running gag, I guess you can call it.
It's been going on too long.
Well, it's weird because it was just like
I just have a lot of nostalgia towards the show, and you guys just hate me for it.
I don't hate you for it.
You used to. Now it's Josh, because Josh just hates the fact I breathe.
I mean, that's fair because it like early on when it was the four of us, usually whenever anybody would bring up Beware the Batman, mostly him, it would be AJ that would chime in saying this show was just garbage.
It's okay.
Yeah, then I'd ask him about it off camera, and I'm like, "Hey, do you actually like hate the show?" He's like, "Oh, I haven't even seen it fully."
Yeah.
Actually, that's not true. I've seen the whole show.
I mean, you have now, but then you said
then
you never saw it.
Then you didn't
Alter,
watch.
I saw the whole show when it was on.
Then what the fuck did you tell me? Because obviously I have dementia.
I never said that. I saw the whole show when it was on.
What did you say? You said something like, "Oh," or you just said like, "Oh, I just don't care for it." You said something like that. You're just like, "No, I don't hate it."
I didn't have any like super strong feelings about it, and I had character development.
He's now got to where it went from trash to mid to decent.
I mean, I can enjoy most things. I'm at inner peace.
No.
You wonder who can't enjoy most things? It's hard to talk about with him here.
I'm glad that over the course of, I mean, it still comes up somewhat, but I'm glad that we don't talk about the Beware the Batman feud is not as prevalent as it used to be. I think when we did that, I think it was when we did the best and worst of like for this past year is when we kind of put that to rest, and now we just don't really.
Well, I'm trying to go move on to bigger, better thing with another running gag, but he just keeps ignoring me and looking at the lap or whatever he's playing.
No, let's be real, Alter. We should do a Beware the Batman video.
We should.
I've said that since I joined the podcast.
Well, I mean, actually, I'm saying we could do a collab.
Okay. So this video has become about a collab.
The skit of the collab video should just be like us, just like it's like an 8 Mile rap battle.
I think if it's not you doing it just on your own, it'll be like episode 125 or something.
I just don't know if the channel could handle it.
Can we talk about the era
Yeah.
of videos where I couldn't edit my own podcast?
Oh yeah, that was an interesting time.
Yeah.
The show's history.
You really want to bring
I'm
up
so glad I was never the one. Because they would have never came out.
The Zoom years.
The Zoom year. Yeah, for... I forget how long we were...
Recording in prog, I still get PTSD.
For the early stuff, Zoom was pretty much all we had or knew how to use. Because I didn't know how to use OBS yet, so I was just like, fuck it, we'll just do it on Zoom.
Well, that's all we have for artistic integrity now, and I wish I could change that.
I mean, give it time.
I've been saying for the longest that we should just each just use like our own webcams and just record our faces while we're on a Discord call.
I mean, technically I can record it.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the podcast
Stop
we're on.
you have a Windows.
So it was literally right after we did a video on Spider-Man, the 60s cartoon, is when everything just kind of went to shit. My computer pretty much crapped the bed, and for a year it was just mostly Swifty editing all the podcast episodes. I think AJ might have edited a couple, and maybe Alter did one. I forget, but yeah, I think it was mostly just Swifty doing most of the legwork.
Yeah, Swifty was the hero.
He was the hero. He still is when he's not an asshole.
Never the hero.
He is the villain of his own story. But yeah, I think it was episode 59 was when I was back to editing it, and for a time it was like episode 59 and 60, which was the Batman one, where I had a crappy laptop until I got the PC all set up. So
Yeah. But
we
We
back.
want to know like one of the first. How did we edit the porn parody episode? You did that, didn't you?
I did that. Yeah. That was.
How was that?
That was. It was interesting because, I mean, I had to make it so that it would be able to be viewed on YouTube. So, and I didn't know how to censor photos yet. So all the photos that I used for that video were just pictures where dicks weren't out or nobody was naked.
You know how I edited the Bruce Timm video, right? How I censored that one?
Yes. I remember that.
Should have just done that.
Yeah, I mean, since it was pretty much your video anyway, I should have just asked you to just pretty much do it. But also that one too, I went back and watched it, and I mean, as much fun as we had just laughing at stupid porn parodies, a lot of it was like untouched, because there's at least most of the time when we record stuff, there's maybe a couple bits and pieces there that have to be trimmed out anyway. So, but most of it was pretty much intact as it was.
So yeah, and you guys were all like terrified to do the episode, but I was fully on board. I was ready. Years of mental training has trained me to do that video.
It was, I mean, I was worried because I didn't know how the fuck to approach that, like where we were gonna go with it. Yeah, that's why I basically just told you I told you hey, it's pretty much your baby.
All part
so
of the vision, baby. Trust the vision.
Yeah.
Let's do part 2, and let's just do like animated, like the animated ones.
It's fucking fucking hentai.
Yeah, part 2. Dude, let's do a whole episode on hentai first, and then let's do a porn parody 2.
Mm-hmm. You know what? Given how much fun we had, I would totally be down to do a second porn parody video. Because I was just dying that whole episode. It was interesting looking up these movies, but then also just laughing at titles. Like, we were just laughing at titles of porn parodies. One of the ones that killed me was like the Mandalorian. Like, I remember just cracking up at that. It was so hilarious.
And Mutant Ninja Turtle.
Well, yeah, I showed them that one.
Hold on. For part 2, I'm gonna pull like clips of like the story parts of the parodies.
Yeah.
Because I have one saved from an Adventure Time porn parody. It's the funniest shit I've seen in my life. It is. It's great. I have to send it to you, but yeah. I want to do stuff like that for like a part 2. I want to actually have like video clips.
Mm. Yeah.
To show the guys instead of just a picture of the person.
Yeah, because it was
Star
Wars
with Chewbacca. Like, it was just like a bunch of like stormtroopers in bikinis, and then there was like Darth Vader, but he had like a dildo.
Yeah.
And then just a random like edited like badly photoshopped Chewbacca to the side.
Which one was the Guardians parody? Because I remember I just remember laughing at that because it looks so cheap.
The title was just Guardians of the Galaxy, like Triple X or something like that. But, like, the poster was just, the costumes were god awful.
Yeah. You had somebody in a fucking raccoon suit.
Yeah. He was like taller than everybody. He was like a grown man. Just in like a Party City costume.
Yeah. It's strange, but yeah, that was a fun one, for sure. I think that whole era of like Speaking Nerd was just fun, where it was like us talking about like porn, like just weird shit, where it's just like, we had our usual stuff. I mean, like Games Fest and whatnot, but then like we do like porn parodies. You guys did The Room, and yeah, it was just a fun time. Dying Young, which
I kept wanting to keep that I kept like wanting to keep that rolling. I was finding weird stuff, and I was like, let's talk about it on the podcast. And you all ignored me. Every single one of you ignored me. I'm just saying, when are we gonna review Ultra Christ? Jesus is back on a brand new adventure.
Isn't Willem Dafoe in that movie? Or am I thinking of something else?
No, he's definitely not in that
movie.
Okay,
there's another movie with Willem Dafoe and something about the Ultra Christ or something.
That's the Last Temptation of Jesus Christ. That's Martin Scorsese movie.
Okay, so he's lied about not seeing it. So what you're telling me is that you're a filthy liar.
Hey, I didn't say I didn't know Martin Scorsese. I just haven't seen them.
I think there should be a Speaking Nerd podcast porn parody where we're all played by Johnny Sins.
All at the same time.
All three of us. Yeah. Like really badly edited.
The CGI shot.
Who's gonna be the girl though? I vote it's Josh.
Vote all you want.
I'm just thinking, Lana Rhodes as Joshua Vincent Corella, and the Speaking Nerd cock.
Yeah.
Johnny Sins as Alter Rap, Johnny Sins as Marvel, and Johnny Sins as H.A. Howard. He's in like all of us.
We should
get a beard just
get Axel Braun to direct it.
No, we need like Todd Phillips, the director. We need like an actual director.
Mm-hmm. Maybe we'll get Martin Scorsese to do it.
Get Matt Reeves.
Zack Snyder.
No, I want it to be good. I mean, have you seen Sucker Punch? It's basically a porn movie.
So that's a weird fucking movie.
Dude, one of my friends said he watched that one time while he was like just tripping balls. He said it was. He said he couldn't get his eyes off the screen.
Yeah, I remember watching it years ago, and it was just like, what the fuck am I looking at? Like, it's just girls in schoolgirl uniforms fighting giant robots and samurais and shit.
Be my favorite Zack Snyder movie of all time.
So
it screams the weird shit I'm into, but like it was a blockbuster film.
Mm-hmm.
We should do an episode on episode reviewing Sucker Punch. But like in a comedic way, like we give it a 10 out of 10 just because titties.
If we don't do it as its own episode, then I was thinking of like a Snyder retrospective or something.
No, because I don't want to be depressed. The whole episode, I'm waiting for it to end.
Fair enough.
It's like, all right. It's like, all right, thank God we're almost done, right? We just talked about just Watchmen. We haven't talked about anything else.
Yeah, we spent like 2 hours talking about Watchmen.
Actually, I don't feel like we would spend that much time talking about Watchmen. I feel like we talked about Watchmen like 2 minutes.
Maybe 10, but...
No, Watchmen wouldn't take that long to talk about. Because there's not much to discuss about the movie. It's just cinematography is good. Story's basically the comic, but just slightly worse.
Mm-hmm.
Cast was
on point.
Incredible. Yeah. Like that's literally all I feel like that could be said about that film. You probably could like stretch something to talk about it, and if you really want to talk about the plot, you could. But we never talk about the plot in any of these episodes.
So, anybody remember Speaking Our Plays was a thing?
Yeah, I was actually looking at that.
It never went away. I've been begging you to do it again.
I mean, we've been thinking about doing an episode recently, and I think we can do it with all 4 of us.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought about if we would ever make it Speaking Our Plays episode 100?
No.
It's kind of too late for that, buddy.
I
don't know. We can play 100 different games, or we can play Fortnite 99 more times.
No, no, God, no. Yeah, I mean, there's tons of games for us to play together, but it's not one of those playlists where I'm looking at it being like, yeah, I could totally see that going to 100 episodes. So,
all I'm saying, we need to play Hentai Nazi Simulator.
Honey Pop.
You're gonna see like everyone's like Steam hours. Everyone's gonna have like maybe 5 minutes just for the video, and you're gonna see mine. It's like 24 hours put into the game.
It's like, why'd you play it for that long? It's like because there's a whole game, new game plus, 100% completion.
The sequel, the spinoff. I've platinumed all of them. There's a lot of weird hentai games on the eShop.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, there is. I remember for Speaking Our Plays, this was a bitch of an episode, just to get off the grounds, because we were gonna do Fortnite, and then at some point Multiverses came out, so I'm like, okay, let's do Multiverses. That didn't work, and then we went back to Fortnite, did 1 hour session, and it ended up going to shit. And then eventually we got to do another hour, and that's the video it turned into.
And then you did one by yourself with Josh for multiverses.
Yeah. I forget, like, I think it was just, like, a random Tuesday, like, a random Tuesday before Christmas, and I'm just like, I have a feeling Multiverses is going to shut down soon, so we might as well just do the video now. And he was like, okay.
It's shutting down.
It is shutting down, so it's a good thing we did it before. Not with everybody, but... You know.
Hold on. Let me cook. I might do a review of Multiverse, like a full-on, in-depth video on Multiverses.
Yeah.
After it shuts down.
Guaranteed there's not going to be a Multiverses review on my channel, but, you know, you do your thing.
Just saying, mid.
Yeah.
Mid.
Yeah.
Even when it came out and I was hyped for it, I was like, this is mid.
I mean, we all played it for like a week or something, and then it just kind of fell off on its own.
Not like about a week, yeah, actually. Yeah. That's kind of accurate.
And then it just kept getting worse from there.
Especially, I mean, I think me and Josh kind of quit playing before everyone else because we got the early access.
Yeah, you paid money for that, which...
Man, we didn't pay money for that. You had to watch watch a Twitch stream for a certain amount of time. Twitch, Twitch gives out awards for watching.
I know there's like Twitch Prime stuff, but yeah.
No, it's like a thing where it's like some sort of like rewards program or whatever. It's like select streamers. You know, if you watch them for a certain amount of time, you get like in your notification, you get like a code for like an in-game item or something like that. I know there's like Fortnite one. Sometimes they give out like pickaxes and shit. And that's how they gave away the early access for Multiverses. Was you had to watch like a streamer for like 30 minutes or something like that.
Yeah. And I remember too, they had like founder packs, which were like, you know, you pay for certain. You know, it was basically just like a deluxe edition type thing.
Money on Multiverses, you actually have never spoken to a woman before in your life.
I didn't, but I know some people who have, and yeah.
Did they talk to women?
Probably not.
That's what I'm saying.
So, but yeah, I mean, Speaking Nerd Plays it's a series that I would love to do more with, and like I don't want to be limited by like, you know, certain types of games like fighting games, you know, battle royales. Like I'm not interested in that. I want to do like party games or like, you know, we do racing games, something like that where. Yeah. Jackbox.
We should do jack-offs.
Is that like a Steam early access game or something?
No, it's when we turn on our webcams on Discord, so you can nut the fastest.
We should do that.
That's going on the Speaking Nerd OnlyFans.
If that ever happens.
Hey, Alter made a
Mine will happen. I'm being so for real. I'll make an OnlyFans.
How many followers do you have to get again?
1,000. I'm at like 340 something. I'm pretty sure right now. My next year, I'm hoping to have 1,000. So next year, the Ultra OnlyFans. My Ultra fans page will be made.
Ultra fans. That's what it says on the link me page. It's like, join my altar fans. Yeah. So something I remember.
18 plus. It's like, man, absolutely brutal. Fucks this beat. This is a video of me rapping.
So I think right after Speaking Nerd Plays, at least for me, and it was a kind of era between, it was like that and up until like early in this year, where it was just kind of like our burnout era of the podcast, where we were all just kind of. I mean, AJ wasn't even there for half of it. He was just gone.
I think artistic integrity is actually going through their burnout era right now at episode 3.
Yeah, when you actually released episode 3, like 3 months after recorded it.
I swear to God, I'm gonna revamp the whole podcast, get a new co-host on it, and then the rest of the episodes I got like 2 left that are unreleased. It's like episode 4 and then the Marvel interview. I'm just gonna drop those randomly.
You know, you revamp after like a long time of the same thing. This is after 3 episodes.
Well, because I'm being so for real, it didn't turn out how I originally wanted it to turn out. I wanted to have the podcast. This may just sound like me bitching right now, but my initial vision for artistic integrity was a full-on, not like I guess more high quality setup and presentation with how the episodes were presented, and really it just turned into just us shit posting.
I mean, for starters, you recorded 4 episodes in a row, so.
Yeah, I was dead after that.
I think that kind of killed it on the right. Well, not killed it entirely, but it just, yeah, it was a thing.
It killed me.
I was just hyped to get it off the ground, and then it ended up just stayed on ground level.
Well, we gotta have some communication there.
It went limp.
I thought there was communication. Apparently, there wasn't.
We need to level our energies there because
oh my god,
that is not the way to do it.
It is if you're just on that Sigma grind set like I am.
Well, I'm on that sleep grind set.
Mm. Yeah.
That's called depression. I think you need to need help.
I'm good.
All right.
Yeah. I think after our kind of burnout, I think when we did the best and worst of, like, since those videos, we've had some really great moments in between. One of them I remember from our DC Studios video talking about the James Gunn lineup is we were trying to remember how many movies were coming out this year. He's just like, there's 4 coming out, and AJ's just like, which one am I missing? Just forgot that Shazam was even a thing, which I don't blame you for.
He's like he's supposed to be like the Shazam guy.
He's the advocate for Shazam. So
somehow Shazam flopped harder than Black Adam.
That was a bad moment for me.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna blame that on my own life. Things were not going well at that time. So.
Other moments I remember, the Euphoria reaction, the Beware the Batman blow up. Everybody just got riled up in that moment, and
what happened? Wait, what are you talking about? Beware the Batman blow up?
We were talking about somebody. I think you had said that like there hasn't been a bad Batman show ever, and then of course Swifty chimes in with Beware the Batman, and then it just led to you fucking blowing up on everybody. Like just all that pent up aggression over the years of us, like them shit talking the show. It just came out, and we were all.
Please clip that. I do not remember that. I think I might have just blacked it.
I have it clipped. I have it clipped on the channel. I just haven't posted it yet.
Do send it to me.
I'll send it to you. Because it's a moment that's like hilarious in hindsight, but just in the moment I didn't know if we were gonna, call off the podcast after that. Like, there were just so many emotions that were there.
What did I didn't say anything. Jesus. I watched a video and started like yelling slurs. And
I'll show you later. But so I wanted to ask you guys this earlier. Do you have a episode that you just downright hate? Like, just thinking about it.
You know, it's all of the ones I'm not on. You know, it's just missing that key ingredient to the recipe of speaking in podcast.
Okay, so I have an answer, but it's kind of for the same reason that AJ said that. The Batman review, because I'm pretty sure
you were
I was
there.
Not there for the Batman.
No, you were there.
You were there.
That's why it's terrible.
No, you were with us.
There was one review that I really wanted to do, and I just didn't. I was like sick or something. I didn't do the podcast.
I mean, you weren't there for DC fandom, but
that's like every time he doesn't show up. Oh, I'm sick.
Well, I remember we did DC fandom, and you were like, "Oh man, I wish I could have been there for that," and that inadvertently is why we did the which episode was it? The adult cartoon like video game episode, because I'm like, "Oh, I'm gonna make it up to you," and then we later did that. So
that's the best episode.
Besides the porn parody one, of course.
Yeah. All the ones that are my ideas are the best ones. Even though I think halfway the adult cartoon game one was like halfway your idea. But...
Yeah, I mean it was my idea, but I knew it was something that both of us could talk about. So I was just like, let's go with it.
Yeah, I don't think, especially me and you. I don't think
not them.
Watches cartoon, and I don't think AJ watches. I don't think he watches adult cartoons because his daddy preacher will yell at him.
Yeah, I mean, I do watch adult cartoons.
Name 5.
Just not Martin Scorsese.
Name five that you love, and if I don't like any of them, I'm kicking you off the podcast. I'll kick you off the podcast. Fuck what Marvel says. I'll kicking you off the podcast.
Okay. King of the Hill.
Ben 10.
Ben 10 as an adult cartoon would be crazy. I'm not gonna lie. Like a R-rated Ben 10.
He'd just be murdering every alien he comes in contact with.
Zack Snyder's Ben 10.
God, that'd be hell.
The Simpsons.
As an adult cartoon, you said The Simpsons.
And The Simpsons is not good.
Yes, it is.
As well as Family Guy.
Not anymore.
For a while. Simpsons was good for a little bit.
The Simpsons is definitely. I think The Simpsons and Family Guy I've gone the exact same way. Of The Simpsons fell off after the movie.
I don't care when
fell off after
Family Guy was always bad.
I'm not
what?
saying. I'm not saying The Simpsons was always good, but it was good for a lot of seasons.
A few.
I mean, it was good for a good. It was consistent for a good, solid
like the first
20 years.
Yeah.
And then they dropped the movie, and they're just like, "All right, we're done with this shit." And Fox is just like, "No, you're not."
I think throughout the 2000s they didn't care, and then when the Simpsons movie came out, they were just like, "Okay, we really want to end it, but Fox won't let us." So.
Okay.
Finish your list.
The Spawn animated series. It's great. And then Space Coast to Coast. And
Okay.
All right.
Harley Quinn.
You know, you lost me at Harley Quinn. I like Harley Quinn, don't get me wrong, but saying greatest adult cartoons ever, are you smoking crack?
I wasn't really saying greatest. I was just saying
Your
He's just
fave.
saying the ones that he's seen or that he's allowed to see.
You literally just asked me.
Dad allows him to watch.
You literally just asked me to name some adult cartoons that I like.
All right. Well, what are your top 5 then? Top 5 greatest. What are they? In order, from 5 to 1.
I'd have to take more time to form a list like that. There's too many to count.
Well, I'll call you tomorrow.
In the meantime, I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell. In the meantime, I'm gonna tell you what I think is my least favorite episode we've ever done on the podcast.
This one.
No, it
This
is.
fucking sucks.
No, and it was our Game Awards prediction. It was like episode 8 or something.
Wasn't that my first episode as the co-host?
It was, yeah, I think maybe, but that whole episode, because I'm trying to, go through it legit and be like, oh, which games will win for that category, and then AJ, who, keep in mind, I didn't really know all that well at the time. We were just barely friends at that point. The whole episode is AJ just going, best fighting game, Batman Ultra 7. Best game of the year, Batman Ultra 7. Best racing game, Batman Ultra 7.
Bro, he still does that.
Am I like discovering a hidden beef you've had with me this entire time?
No, it's not a beef throughout the podcast. It's just that episode specifically.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
That sounds funny though. I just want to hear you just get pissed off. Like, did you actually verbally get mad?
No, in the episode, no. But I mean, you could tell because every time he would say it, I'm just like, oh, okay. But yeah,
you want to know one thing? Surprise, no one's mentioned. The fact that we've had an episode with Mark Hill Davis, and that's still up.
And I've never watched it.
Yeah.
I was in it.
Yeah, it was.
I think it was me. It was me with AJ. Were you there?
No, he wasn't there.
I don't know. I don't think so.
It was you, me, and Markel.
God have mercy on our souls. Why did we think it was a good idea? We've all had that Markel redemption arc where we think we can redeem him, and we just can't.
I don't know why that's so funny to me. I'm sorry.
You know the way that Swifty hates me? That's how I feel about Markel Davis.
Not even holding back.
Yeah, that was an episode.
I think at least yours are like jokes. I'm not joking.
Well, I never said mine were jokes. What? Who said that?
I barely remember anything about that episode.
Because
we talked about we talked about characters, and half the episode's about Miles Morales, and the whole time he talks about himself.
I don't think
and then you would cut him off halfway through him talking.
Mm-hmm.
You would cut him out halfway through him talking, and you'd be like, yeah, that's cool, Marco. Anyway, Walter, what do you think about it?
Yeah, I haven't gone back to watch that episode, so
I'm surprised you can delete that episode.
Yeah.
Dude, what about that live stream you did with him?
We didn't do. Did we do a live stream with him?
You did a
not on YouTube. Oh yeah, I did. Yeah. Yeah, it was mostly just talking to him for an hour, just about his music and stuff. I wish we'd. If there's one thing I wish for the future is that we do more collabs with people. I would love to get more guest spots on the podcast from other creators.
We gotta get
I would love
here.
To. Other creators are cool and all, but we need to get other people who are relevant to what we like on the podcast.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is the voice of Batman and Beware the Batman, we need to get him on Speaking Nerd.
For our Beware the Batman episode.
How he's like at the bottom of my list of Batman actors.
I'm trying to remember.
I'm talking there. I'm like, man, you did a good job. You know, what was it like working on the show? And then Swifty and AJ were there, just like, yeah, why the fuck did you sign on?
I fucking hate
Who
you.
I don't think he's bad at all. I don't think he's bad at all. I just not on my.
I thought he actually had. I thought he had a really good Batman voice. I'm not gonna lie to you.
He's good.
It's not like top tier, but
He's pretty good.
no, I couldn't imagine anyone else doing his version of Batman. Imagine Kevin Conroy's voice on that CG Batman would be weird.
Now what? Yeah. I remember when we were doing the PlayStation video with Zach, which was literally moments after we finished doing the Q&A. Because me and him were talking, and just like, okay, you want to be on the podcast? Sure, let's do it on this day. I didn't think about it though, because it was literally the day we were shooting the Q&A video, and literally right like near the end, he messaged me. He's like, "Where are you at?" I'm like, "We'll be there in a moment. We're just finishing up." And you could definitely tell we had just recorded a podcast before, because by the end of that episode, we were all just like burnt out.
I think I barely talked that episode.
No, you left halfway through.
Well, there was one awkward moment during the episode where I mentioned my brother knew him, and they clearly had some beef or something. And
That's right. Yeah.
real quick.
I remember.
I was like,
I remember that.
Wait, what?
I was like, I didn't know, man. I didn't know.
Wait, what? Wait, what?
Please
fill me in. I did not. I don't remember. I think I might have left.
I forget how it got brought up, but he mentioned like your brother had known him before before, and let's just say it wasn't on good terms. So
Yeah.
What did he do to make him hate him?
I don't even remember.
Like I just imagine you guys are doing the podcast, and then AJ's like, yeah, my brother actually, he knows you, and then he's like, who's your brother? And he says his brother's name, and then he's
I think that might have.
Hate that
I think that might have been it. Where it's just like, oh, brother knows me. Who's your brother? He said his name, and it was just like, oh yeah, that guy.
I think it was like politics or something. I think it was.
Wait, and who are we talking?
It was a politics thing.
I think it was.
So if I come out now and say that I'm a socialist, is everyone gonna kill me?
I think everybody would applaud you if you said you were socialist on social media.
I don't know what that means. I don't even know what the fuck that means.
I don't even know who.
I don't follow politics, man. I don't give a shit. So
I'm voting for Kanye in 2024, motherfucker.
If that ever happens.
Who?
Do you not know who Zach is?
Oh yeah, I do. No, I do. I didn't know that you were talking about Zach. That's why I asked. I said your brother and who.
Zack
Snyder.
Wow, I didn't know your brother knew Zack Snyder. That's crazy.
If we got Zack Snyder on the podcast,
He would just. Oh no! Don't do that.
He's never joining the podcast. He's never joining us.
To continue his career after I'm done with him.
he would just be like, yeah, when I was making Batman v Superman, and you just hear us in the background, oh my fucking god.
That'd be great.
Wow.
Yeah, when I made Man of Steel, what's Man of Steel?
Man of terrible writing.
Then you just like get that 2013 Superman movie. Oh yeah, that shit was ass. And then
Yeah.
just casually talk shit to Zack Snyder. Dude, I saw this one clip. It was really funny. It was like a stand-up comedian. He was like asking people in like the crowd.
Yeah, I
like,
know. I've seen that one.
To talk about. And it was he just like, what's your name? Zach. And he's like, he said something. He's like, you probably know me. And he was like, how would I know you? I don't know any famous Zacks besides Zack Snyder. He's like, I am Zack Snyder. And he's like, oh, fuck.
Wow.
Yeah. Speaking of awkwardness, you mentioned that live episode. That was...
I hate you.
Yeah, that was not how I thought that episode was going to go.
It down.
Yeah. I think the reason why I haven't taken them down is just like I don't want gaps in between like the playlists and stuff. Like somebody's going to be watching episode like 74. It's like, oh, where's episode 75 at? Oh, it's not on YouTube anymore.
What you could do is you could just relabel the episode.
Yeah.
I mean, it would take probably a little while, but
no, I was saying just edit down the live episode. Just make it coherent and not dog shit. I think if I could say that I hated an episode, 2 episodes I would hate: the episode with Markel Davis because I wanted to kill myself that whole time recording it, and the live episode because I wanted to kill myself after I left the episode. Because.
What is it about?
You know what happened.
Okay. Yeah, it was definitely a thing.
What is it about what?
I was going to ask what it was that you didn't like about it, but I guess not. Can't ask that anymore.
You know why, though, right? I don't have to explain myself. I can if you want me to.
Sure. Just so the audience knows.
So, audience members who didn't feel like sitting through that, like, 3-hour-long monstrosity. Oh, so basically, episode 75 was whenever my family decided to just run in my room halfway through recording. Like, everyone in my family, there's 5 people living in my house. All 5 people were in my room at the time of recording.
Mm-hmm.
Despite me specifically saying, hey, I'm recording. If you need something, just text me.
Yeah.
All right. And what do? They just run into my room, everybody in the damn house. And then later on, I have to get up and go help my mom with something, right? And then she, like, forces me to get off, even though we're, like, halfway through talking with something. And so I'm just kind of, like, really awkwardly in the middle of a conversation. It's like, yeah, I gotta dip.
Yeah, I remember that part specifically, where it's just like, yeah, I can't stay here. I gotta head out. And we were just like, see ya, man.
That's the only problem with a live episode, though, is like, why was that episode so long, though?
Because we were doing,
I feel like a live
basically
normal,
three topics.
If we did like yeah, like I was about to say, if we did like a normal episode live, like it would just be like an hour. Because it
was like there were 2. I think it was one. There was a topic we were talking about. There might have been some news that we were talking about too, and then I remember we were doing a discussion about something. So.
I mean, honestly, you could have just edited that.
We did one video idea that like we never got. Well, we always wanted to do, but we never got around to.
I think that was it. The 2 that a couple that we did there were episodes that we did previously, but then for some reasons it didn't work out. So I'm just like, okay, let's do all of them in the live stream, and yeah. It just
never do that again.
Yeah, no.
I'll never do artistic integrity episodes in one day. You never put hell upon this like you have.
All right, gotcha. Yeah, probably never going to do a live episode again, or like one thing I know that we're probably never going to do again is a Q&A video.
Live
because
episodes, that's not a problem. The problem is doing 15 topics at the same time.
Yeah.
Because it was like a 4-hour long stream.
I mean, I wasn't expecting it to be that long. I figured we'd all if we just knock it out
but
in an hour or two.
But talk about three episodes of Speaking Nerd podcast range from about 45 minutes to an hour each, right? So therefore, if we do 3 of them, that'll be about 3.5 hours, minus the intermission we take and the outtakes we typically get edited out.
Yeah. Yeah.
But with live, there's no outtakes.
No.
Exactly. There's also more room for you to mess up.
Well, I remember I did say that. I did say right before we started, like, hey, this is going to be live. So if whatever, if there's anything we fuck up, it's just there. So.
Well, I didn't say a slur.
No, you didn't say slur. That's good.
The audience probably thinks I'm the most racist, terrible person, but there's no proof of it anywhere because I just joke about that.
Yeah.
Like I don't even like say that stuff in like the outtakes. I just
no.
I think the worst joke I ever made in the outtake, I think I made fun of disabled people once.
Which I probably cut out anyway. So. Yeah.
Yeah, most of my outtakes are jokes that like they're not that bad, but there's things that were just like I don't think we can say that. I have never said. I'll put it this way. I've never said something that's never been said on Adult Swim.
All right. Sure, I guess. So.
There's a lot on TV. I'll say it.
Yeah. I think that pretty much covers it, unless there's anything else you guys want to bring up, because I pretty much said all I needed to say.
Maybe we should talk about the future.
The future?
Well, how about topics we want to discuss in the future, and then we'll get there.
Okay. If there is one topic you guys want to talk about, what would that topic be?
Ben 10.
Ben 10?
I just started watching it again. It's so amazing. Such a great show.
It is.
Okay. It's not bad.
Oh, and we got to talk about The Last of Us.
Yeah, we still need to talk about the show.
And Red Pill.
What's that?
Based. And Red Pill.
Or the game, too.
No, we did the game. We did a whole episode with just the games.
We did it on Speaking Nerd?
Yes.
I remember doing it. I just forgot it was going
Where was it?
It was on Pop Culture Pack.
Yeah, it was on Pop Culture Pack. It was on Intensive Treatment.
Intensive Treatment. How the Last of Us TV show will affect the release of the Suicide Squad.
Literally, if we ran out of ideas, that would probably be something. I'd be like, let's just make fake news. Oh,
what was that Evan Falarka video? It was like...
It's like, will Spider-Man PS4 affect the U.S. elections or something?
Yeah, that's what it was. It was how will the U.S. election affect Spider-Man PS4?
That's insane.
Dude, that was one of the funniest... I remember I watched it whenever Slither Boy posted it on like his... He like back when he was beefing with Evan Falarka, he just like randomly posted that link. Which, by the way, everyone kept like siding with Evan Falarka because I think the type of content that he makes is very different from the type of content that Slither Boy makes because he's a lot more satirical. He's a lot more someone who just fucks around.
Yeah.
Kind of like, I guess that's how I am. So, you have him and he makes jokes about somebody who's, they're very formal, they're very serious. They talk about news a lot, like Evan Falarka. Those two don't really mix that. From personal experience, someone who makes that very serious content with someone who makes more satirical content, they don't mix together. And you know the person I'm talking about. And so, yeah, one person can't take a joke, therefore they start beefing with the person who made the joke. And it turns into a big situation. But it was funny as shit, though. I'm not going to lie to you. I was laughing the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
he got his video got mass reported and taken down off of YouTube. So he posted it on Pornhub.
That's right,
and
I remember that.
The Pornhub video got mass reported so much it got taken off of Pornhub.
That's pretty. You got to have a special kind of
that easy. If you sit there and think about that, that is wild.
Banned off Pornhub.
If you get banned off the hub, you actually might be a criminal.
Oh, those were the days.
I wish he still made videos.
Mm-hmm.
He is an Alter Brat fan, though. I'll give him that. He likes Alter Brat.
Yeah, he knows you exist, so.
He commented on one of my more recent videos.
Oh, that's so sweet. How cute.
And I got to know back when he was Lord of what?
Lord Cheddar. Yeah, Lord.
Lord Cheddar. Yeah, back when he was Lord Cheddar, I remember I get a notification that he subscribed to me. So big flex.
So Walter, what's one topic you want us to talk about in the future? And why is it Slither Boy?
Or porn parodies too.
Porn parodies too. AJ.
Porn parodies too. Let's get Slither Boy on the podcast. All right, I got a whole bunch of ideas. Porn parodies too. Slither Boy on the podcast. Ultra Christ review. I want to start reviewing more weird shit. I think that's where the podcast is at its peak. Is we just talk about weird shit, and nostalgic shit. Mm-hmm. That's my favorite stuff to talk about on this podcast, and that's honestly where our podcast peaks. Is where we need to talk about something we're nostalgic about, or something that we just think is fucking weird, like The Room or porn parodies. And so I want to start doing more stuff like that.
Yeah.
I want to make a Speaking Nerd movie.
Oh God.
Oh man.
I will not be present.
You're recast.
You guys ever seen the?
Lana Rhodes is with
the. Yeah, AJ's gonna be played by. No, but have you ever seen like AJ played by Jonah Hill would be crazy. But what I'm trying to say is, I feel like if we had a Speaking Nerd movie, you guys ever seen the Impractical Jokers film?
Yeah, of course I have.
Exactly. See, this is a movie everyone's seen. All right. Now think of how that movie turned out, and think if that movie was just a living hell instead of funny.
Mm-hmm.
Right, it would be our movie.
I think of the four main Impractical Jokers. Think of if they hated each other. That's how the film would go.
All of us trying to kill each other.
To be honest, now this sounds like Jackass.
If we ever have a sequel, I want it to be Alter v Swifty.
Oh, I would win immediately. Are you kidding me? This shouldn't even be a debate. Alter's like 2 feet tall, a little racist boy from Arkansas.
How?
Has no internet,
I'm not racist.
And no, I know you're not. Everyone he's not racist. I just make fun of that because he's from Arkansas.
Yeah, I was about to say. Listen, all those
internet. Shut up.
But that one does. So I'll say
you don't like Batman the Brave and the Bold as much as Beware the Batman, which is a sin. You are white.
Brave and the Bold.
You have glasses. Your hair is bad. You have terrible drip.
You play. Have no bitches. Or virgin.
I'd rather be those things than be Alter Brat.
That's a crazy thing to say. I'll give you bonus points for having the balls to say that you'd rather be a virgin than be a Giga Chad. And with that, I think What do you think is an episode that you want to see?
Anyways, an episode I would like to see is I want to talk about Clerks.
I will not be present for that.
Animated?
Yeah, the cartoon.
Have you not seen the... I'm talking about the cartoon. Cartoon's great.
I own the cartoon.
I also own the cartoon.
Great.
AJ,
I'm a big Rebel Taxi fan. He talks about everything that's like kind of like Rebel Taxi's vibe is something I really like. I want to be him.
Josh, what did you say?
When? Which one? Just now or before that?
Just now.
Oh, I said Alter said that he had it too, and AJ thought he was gonna feel special for a second. Like, I have the animated clerk. Well, so do I. And AJ's just like, oh.
Don't worry, I have more physical media than Alter.
I would probably.
Okay, buddy.
Nah, I don't know. Alter has a lot of physical media. I would probably say
Whoa
that
there,
you do as well,
pal.
but Alter still has a lot.
Dude, think about my comics collection.
Yeah, that's true. You probably do have more.
Mine.
Actually, you and I probably just have more than Alter. Let's face it.
Bro, what? Have you not? I've never
have a
shown
lot.
my. I've never shown my.
I literally have two
I haven't
long
either.
boxes.
I've never shown mine either.
I literally
Two
have
long boxes, bro. I have 5 long boxes.
No, you don't.
Okay, Alter, now you're just trying to be a giga Chad. Just stop yourself while you can.
I had 5 boxes. I swear to God, I had to throw out the long boxes because they started busting open.
Whoa there, buddy.
I had to
Cap,
stop buying comic books.
cap.
I put my hand on the Bible, goddammit.
Capital C, cap.
It's so weird hearing AJ say cap.
It is really strange.
It's unnatural.
AJ, it wasn't too much Kid Cudi. Go back to listening to like.
It's like me saying cap. It's like it's not right.
Sorry,
Stop.
We already went through your yes queen phase, so.
Well, that was
Yeah.
funny. Cap is a genuine saying, and I could never say that.
Yes queen.
I say cap all the time though.
Queen, yeah, and it sounds better on you because you're a competitive.
Oh my god.
It's like you're more modern.
I had to fight Alter with his own weapons.
I'll fight you with your own weapons too. Fucking Brave and the Bold, Clerks, and no bitches.
Say, how does it feel that I have better taste than you, Walter? In everything, just everything.
Josh, how does it feel to be wrong about just the slightest things?
It feels great because I'm actually right about.
How does it feel to be a pathological liar who just won't just squash the beef for the sake of episode?
Marvel, how many times have we
To be
gotten
a
back?
Pathological
liar.
What's that, AJ?
How many times have we gotten back to this in this one episode?
You know what? I've lost count at this point. I'm not gonna lie to you.
How many times was man ignoring the fact I just want him to say I'm sorry and I appreciate you?
We should have a beef counter.
Okay, ready? Here's my response to that. I'm not sorry, and I don't appreciate you.
I want you to put just blow my brains out right here on camera.
And that's the end of our video.
It's the end of the channel, guys.
Cut that. Josh, did you even say what your episode was?
You said Ben 10. Yeah.
I literally said it
Oh.
first. I said mine first.
Sorry. My
That's
my
why-
bad. I don't listen to
That's
that.
why
You know what?
I
I don't-
didn't
I don't
respond.
I don't listen. Shut the fuck up. I don't listen to people who don't appreciate me and who are pathological liars.
Oh, that's okay. You're kicked off the podcast after this episode anyway. Me and Marvel already had a discussion about this.
I'm not gonna speak on
You
this.
can't do this to me. You know what all I've sacrificed?
Yes. He brought in the Goat Goblin.
The throat goat goblin.
Oh my gosh.
As far as what I want to see, I want to do more, like.
Ezra Miller.
No, I'm with Alter. I want to do more weird shit too. Like just expand our horizons. You know.
Well then, it was nice knowing you fellas, and I'll see you all in pop culture.
Yeah.
We should review the Brendan Fraser mummy film.
Oh, that would be awesome.
I agree with that.
That's a great idea.
Let's do that.
It was the
Honestly-
first movie I saw on my floor. That's why I said we should review it. I have Brendan Fraser's The Mummy sitting next to the 80s It film, Spider-Man 2, Sling Blade, and South Park Volume 3 all on VHS.
That's so wild.
Mm.
But it fits you.
Dude, Sling Blade is a great film. We should review Sling Blade.
So, one more thing before we go. I think sometime we should figure out how to do a kind of a watch party video every once in a while where we just all watch a movie together.
No.
And why is the movie The Room?
Okay, if it was The Room, I would do it.
I mean, I threw out Speaking Nerd commentaries as an idea, but nobody listened to me.
I told you.
I thought we were doing that.
We literally
Kidding.
talked about it. I said
I thought it was on the checklist of shit to do for the
It
Speaking
is.
Nerd brand.
It is.
After we do commentary, we're gonna do a Patreon and then merch.
I don't know about merch, but sure.
That would be pretty cool.
Dude, if I could get a shirt that said Speaking Nerd Podcast that had the black and white Daredevil.
Oh my god.
I would wear that shit daily.
Yeah.
That's gonna be episode 200.
I'd put that on a t-shirt.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
I'd
We'll
buy
just have t-shirts for us
all.
when we have our cans on.
If I just said us three is crazy.
No. I didn't say us three. Did I?
Marvel, did he say us three?
I didn't hear.
I don't think I said us three.
Did you say 4? 'Cause
I swear you
us
said
for win. Okay, on to the next one. I'll have to look back at the video.
Thank you so much to this episode of the Speaking Nerd Podcast, episode 100. Thank you guys so much for watching. It's been one of my favorite things. Comment down. I can't fucking talk. Comment down below what you want to. God, I can't talk fast. Comment down below the Speaking Nerd Podcast. Thank you guys so much for watching the video, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out. Bye. Have a beautiful time.